Organization is an interesting term. The Amish technically started when we had Jacob Ammon in 1693, who broke away from the Mennonite church. Him and his followers didn't agree with their shunning policy. They said it wasn't biblical, so that is why I was taught we broke away from the Mennonites. And let me give you something. Yeah, I mean, laugh at me all you will, but this is the Amish cookbook I grew up cooking with. This is also in the back of it. We have a section called Who Are the Amish? And that talks about our history, because we are descended from Anabaptists who came from, the most conservative segment of the Mennonite church. However, there are some tenets of that are Amish specifically, such as brotherhood, close-knit brotherhood, okay, non-resistance, non-conformity, authority of scriptures. And then here's one that cracks me up. Amish will not go to court to defend themselves even when sued unjustly. Membership in world companies or secret societies is objected to on the basis of such verses as 2 Corinthians 6:14 and 15. Basic doctrines of salvation as held by the Amish Church include the belief that man by nature is sinful, needs to repent and be baptized, accepting by grace the atonement of Christ on the cross. They teach that redemption goes hand in hand with discipleship and self-denial, Luke 9:23 and Matthew 20:38. However, the reason I bring that up, there are certain inherent things that are true about Amish people, but there are many different sects of Amish, and that is sects. I know. In my language, we call a number sects. So, anyways, English is my second language. We're here. We're having this conversation. I'm really grateful that Danielle explained that. Thank you for that. But what has happened is we have had so many church splits. And here's the thing is, even if we didn't have church splits, we had people like one time in settlement number 2 that I lived in, settlement number 3 that I lived in, because it was that one. We had a bishop for a while who he didn't agree with how liberal the settlement was getting to be. So what did he do? He got together, he collected, a group of followers, gained enough power and privilege to go. He had enough power and privilege to go and create a whole new settlement in a whole new state. He had to have people. He had to have power. He had to have privilege. He had to have the right genitalia. He had to have all the people who came and joined his settlement so that he could now have a new type of old order Amish that now doesn't exactly, we would have said Medina Net Mednoma, which means like we don't affiliate with that specific group necessarily. And what that means is now, like, even Amish churches don't affiliate with each other because we have such decentralized leadership, even though we might adhere to certain inherent tenets about being Amish. And so people don't understand that originally Jacob Ammon and his followers, that was our charismatic leadership, whether it was our charismatic single leader or it was our charismatic group of leaders, because we were always taught that it was Jacob Ammon and his group of followers. Like there's like this thing of this portrayal of it that never ever included a single man. But we all know Jacob Ammon's name. We should know his name. That is our history. And nowadays we have like Old Order Amish, we have New Order Amish, we have Swartz and Trooper Amish, we have Dangme Amish, we have Amish Mennonites, which is like when you take an Amish, a Mennonite, and a Baptist, and they kind of intermarry their theological beliefs, that's what you get. That's what Amish Mennonites are. They are a type of subculture within this marginalized group, or a subculture, whatever you want to call it. And then you even have people like, of course, Troyer, Byler. You have all kinds of Amish churches. And we are very, 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 very strict on our rules towards each other. But for some reason, part of what has happened is that what the world sees is that we come together and we help each other. It's the world sees that we make butter. The world sees that we make popcorn. The world sees that we make furniture. The world sees that we farm. So there's the assumption that we do all of those things. All of us do all of those things. And when we escape, there's also the assumption that we have to provide all of this for the worldly friends that we might make. There's a disproportionate amount of labor put on Amish women who escape by their friend groups. We're expected to do certain things. And if you don't believe it, catch yourself. Pay attention to how you talk to Amish race women. Pay attention to what you expect of them. Pay attention to what you ask of them. Literally. Look at how you treat them. Check yourself. Consider what you do, because the narrative has always been controlled by the powerful leaders, by the people who benefit the most from it. And when you start understanding the structure of Amish culture, when you start understanding that the structure is perhaps in some ways very similar to dominant culture structure, but in other ways it is not. And when you start understanding that people can literally be born from a bad family, and therefore they will never accomplish the same status as somebody that's born from a good family, you start understanding better. And, maybe that is true in dominant culture too, but ultimately there are cultural differences. And assimilating into dominant culture America was the most loneliest journey that I ever went on. And if I didn't have immense amounts of trauma therapy, I don't think I would be alive today to tell you the tale. So I want y'all to think about it. How do you treat people that are different from you? And how many times do you respond with something so amazing